murder-suicide in Silsbee, what we know about the victims who had authorities called to their home before.
Plus, it's official as of midnight, the federal government has shut down. What happens next and how long this could last.
And we are live from a Beaumont bistro talking coffee, how the latest round of tariffs are affecting local business owners and your morning cup of joe. 12 News Daybreak starts now.
Good morning, Southeast Texas. Thanks for waking up with Daybreak here on 12 News Plus. I'm Tia Johnson.
And I'm Mark Armstrong. It's 7:01. Let's go ahead and get a first look at our weather with meteorologist Jeff Gerber. And here's a live look outside from Gator Country on our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. I think I see one of their backs sticking out of the water there in the top part of the sky. Oh, are there two of them?
Yeah.
We love the Gators. All right, Jeff, tell us how the weather's looking out there today.
Nice and mild out there this morning. Temperatures in the 60s. We're looking at lower 60s through Beaumont and Jasper at 63 degrees right now. Kirbyville and Silsbee have been holding on to about 66 for the last hour or so, and about 65 in Orange. Woodville's a little warmer at 69, and then we're showing 71 in Port Arthur to start off for this morning. Got our camera kind of searching for some gators out there. There have been a few popping up here and there. I wonder how cool it gets before they really kind of sink into the water and they don't want to come out. But still not too bad. Like I said, I don't see any here, but been looking around for some gators for this morning. Our day planner showing temperatures climbing up into the lower 90s for this afternoon, about 90, 91 with mostly sunny skies. We'll see a little bit of a north wind today between about 3 and 8, but overall looking pretty good. No rain, of course, today, but we do see a small chance for some rain as we head late in the weekend into early next week. We'll show you that in our 7-day forecast.
All right, thanks, Jeff. The Hardin County Sheriff's Office says a man shot and killed his wife in Silsbee before taking his own life. Deputies were called to their home on FM 1122 Monday evening. Sheriff Mark Davis says they found 50-year-old Sophia Torres dead inside the home. Investigators believe her husband, Alfredo Torres, shot her before walking outside to a barn and shooting himself. Sheriff Davis says authorities had been called to the home back in 2020 for a domestic situation. Investigators are still working to learn what led up to the shooting.
And a Jasper man accused of killing his girlfriend and the mother of his child pleaded not guilty in court yesterday. Christopher Drayton, he is charged with the murder in the shooting death of Kenia Williams. Now, the 19-year-old, she was shot in May. Drayton telling investigators that he'd pulled a gun out during an argument with her in a car and placed it between the console and the driver's seat before it went off. Williams, she was shot in the head. Her mother says she wants justice.
And I'm thankful for everyone who has came in and helped so much. It's just I'm trying to deal with it every day, and I always post on Facebook about her because that's my way of really not letting go of her, but just keeping her memory alive.
And Drayton's bond is set at just over $500,000.
Vidor ISD is mourning the loss of a staff member this morning after confirming assistant band director Philip Maldonado has died. He started working with the district this year, returning to education after retiring. He served as head and assistant band director at schools across Southeast Texas. Vidor ISD describes Maldonado as someone who uplifted students and staff and was passionate about music. As of midnight, the federal government is officially shut down.
Yeah, it happened after two last-ditch Senate votes to keep the government open failed last night. Now, in a shutdown, Social Security, Medicare, and VA benefits, they will continue, as will student loans. But some national parks are going to close, and about 750,000 federal workers, they could be furloughed. Now, others, like TSA officers, they would have to work without pay, though members of Congress will keep on getting paid during the shutdown. Now, on Capitol Hill, the finger pointing, it started before the voting did.
Senate Democrats have sacrificed the American people to Democrats' partisan interests.
So we see now Republicans are plunging America into a shutdown, rejecting bipartisan talks, pushing a partisan bill, and risking America's health care.
And the Senate is going to be in session over the weekend, but the House, they're not going to be back until October 7th, and that means this shutdown could last at least a week.
And the shutdown could have major implications here in Texas, not just for jobs, but infrastructure as well. That risk reflected in more than $675 million federal dollars that could be in jeopardy. For example, $120 million is designated for public transportation, highways, and airports, $40 million for universities and research, and more than $200 million for community projects. One of the biggest industries that's been impacted by tariffs is the coffee industry.
Yeah, so how is this affecting local businesses here in Southeast Texas? Well, 12 News reporter Derek Jones, he's live at Hard Bean Coffee and Bistro in Beaumont this morning with more about the local impact on the morning beverage. Good morning, Derek.
Good morning, Markets here. I'm here at the Hardin Coffee in Beaumont, and the Hardin Coffee owner is telling me that she had to raise prices on coffee because the dramatic increase on coffee beans overnight. Diane Martin runs Hard Bean Coffee Shop in Beaumont, and she says the impact of tariffs showed up fast.
Oh yeah, if you were getting a bag of Brazil, you went from paying $35 a bag to $55 a bag overnight.
And that means customers are paying more per cup. Diane buys her beans through Tea and Coffee America, a Beaumont-based distributor. Owner Rosario Torres says Brazil's role in the coffee trade makes this a global problem.
Coffee is the second highest traded commodity in the world next to oil. When you impact Brazil, you impact the global coffee market.
After President Donald Trump imposed a 50% tariff on Brazilian coffee, import costs climbed about 20%, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Torres says that forced his company to add a tariff charge.
About a month ago, we started putting a tariff charge on our invoices. Said, look, we don't know if these tariffs are going to be here forever.
Back at Hard Bean, Diane is shifting to coffee from countries with lower tariffs.
We found out which vendors or which countries did not have as bad a tariffs, and we went with those beans. So that's why we have things from Costa Rica and the Chiapas area.
And she hopes this is only temporary.
I want to try to weather that storm because I'm hoping within a 6-month range that maybe to a year that things equal out with the tariffs and they get back to normal. And then we can go back to carrying some of the other brands again because they're good coffee.
Now, even though businesses and distributors are seeing a major increase, customers should only be seeing a 20-cent to $1 increase on their cup of coffee so that they can keep it 1 cup at a time. In Beaumont, Derek Jones, 12 News.
All right, Derek. Well, the city of Beaumont says there is progress being made on the Gilbert building.
City leaders say engineers and consultants filed for a repair permit last week. This will allow them to begin pre-construction work. It includes removing the remaining storefronts, repairing the stairway for the upper floors, and cleaning unfinished area. The city says this marks the first formal step in the renovation process.
Well, sticking with Beaumont, the fate of Beaumont ISD remains uncertain this morning. TEA Commissioner Mike Morath visited 3 campuses Tuesday that had received failing grades from the agency. Now, his visit comes as the district is facing the possibility of a state takeover after 7 of its 26 campuses technically failed. Now, according to state law, if a single campus gets a failing grade for 5 consecutive years, the state could step in.
Commissioner Morath didn't commit to taking any action yesterday, but he said options are being reviewed.
Choice number 1 is that particular school has to be ordered to be closed. Choice number 2 is the elected board is replaced with an appointed board. And so that's the decision that faces us.
A state takeover is usually a last resort. As for what's next, Superintendent Dr. Shannon Allen says it'll be a while before they know.
He shared with me that we wouldn't hear anything for the next couple of months. I also feel like he is not going to rush to make a decision. He's going to make certain that he takes in all factors and considers Beaumont ISD.
Morath tells us a final decision will be made in the next few months, but whatever's decided, the impact will not be immediate. And this is a story 12 News first told you about in August. You can see our extensive reporting on our streaming app, 12 News Plus, including a more than 20-minute sit-down interview with Dr. Allen.
All right, switching gears here now. Local members of the FFA, they are looking for more buyers. They are getting ready for upcoming auctions, which aren't just about showing animals. They are an investment in students' futures, and that is why the Hardin County Youth Project Show is asking for the community support. 12 News reporter Spencer Plato has more.
Raising animals.
It's a big responsibility, but I like it.
And their futures. I think it'll also help me a lot in the end. I plan on going to college for FFA, I plan on majoring in animal science and everything else. I want to be a vet.
From early mornings to the late nights, pouring their energy, time, and money into their passion.
My love for animals and to help for scholarships in college. I just like taking care of them.
These animals are more than just projects, they're months of hard work. And without more buyers at their auctions, the students' efforts don't always pay off.
The auction will commence for these kids, these hardworking kids, to pay off for their 6 to 8 months, sometimes a year worth of work for these animals.
President Michael Brinkley of the Hardin County Youth Project Show says these auctions help support the students' next project or college funds. He says students are spending thousands of dollars out of their pocket to raise their animals.
They purchase the animals with their own money most of the time. Maybe a parent helps out. And then the feed, for a steer, they're probably looking at $2,500 to $3,000 worth of feed to feed out one of these steers.
Carly Waters says she plans to use the money for vet school and going to the Fort Worth Major Livestock Show.
It feels really good to know that people care about you enough to come down here, and even though they may have never talked to you before, they're willing to come down here and support our local FFA.
In Hardin County, Spencer Plato, 12 News.
And the show is Saturday, October 11th in Koontz at the Hardin County Forestry and Agricultural Youth Association Show Barn. And for more information on that, on becoming a buyer, head on over to our website, 12newsnow.com. And coming up here in our third hour of Daybreak here on 12 News Plus, are you using disinfectants properly when cleaning your home? If not, you could be putting your health at risk. Details on that coming up in your health news. Plus, meet the winner of Fat Bear Week and 6 kids with the same name. Your trending news is coming up. Our time is now 7:11.
We begin with breaking news in Port Neches.
Firefighters continue attacking the flames from the air.
We're working to learn more about a police chase.
We'll give you a live look at the scene tonight. Our crew there.
A chase in Port Neches turned into a standoff.
So we're working to get you more information.
We're going to keep you updated on air and online as we learn more.
Stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
I wouldn't say that I was like a partier, but I would say that I was a social butterfly. So we would just always drink. That night, I went through a red light and I T-boned another vehicle. And I just remember thinking oh no. Right after the DWI, I lost my license and I did 30 days in jail. I could have killed him because I decided to be reckless. I have a ton of regrets. I'm Katie. 5 years ago, I got a DWI and I'm still paying for it every day.
As tropical activity picks up in the Gulf, 12 News is your hurricane headquarters. Get prepared before a storm hits. Watch the 12 News Hurricane Special, streaming on 12 News Plus. From the must-haves in your supply kit to the evacuation routes you'll need to take, plus safety tips and how you can protect yourself from storm scammers. The 12 News Hurricane Special, keeping you prepared. Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, "Don't mess with Texas," means we gotta step up, walk the walk. Do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, for all us Texans, "Don't mess with Texas" means don't litter.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Patrick Vaughn here with one of the most important hurricane tips, having an evacuation plan. First, gather food, water, and medicine before storing it in an emergency kit. Plan well in advance where you're going, how you'll get there, and if you'll need to transport any pets, small children, or the elderly. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
In your health news this morning, it's important to keep your home clean to stop the spread of germs. But some cleaning products, they can actually put your health at risk if you are using them the wrong way. Now, when it comes to using things like bleach, you have to be careful. According to the CDC, little details can make a big difference. Mandy Gaither explains.
Washing hands and highly touched surfaces are two keys to keeping viruses and other illnesses from spreading. But some of the cleaning supplies in your home can be dangerous if used the wrong way.
The nonprofit Environmental Working Group found that more than 2,000 cleaning products in the United States might contain chemicals linked to asthma, cancer, and chemical burns.
The CDC says in most situations, cleaning alone with soap and water can remove most germs on surfaces. However, if someone in your home has been sick or a person who recently visited had an illness, the agency says properly diluted bleach can effectively kill germs. But take these steps for safety. Use regular, unscented household bleach that contains between 5 to 9% sodium hypochlorite. If it's laundry or splashless bleach, it may not be appropriate for disinfection, so make sure it's in that percentage range. Never mix household bleach or any other disinfectant with other cleaners or disinfectants. This can release vapors that can be dangerous to breathe in. Make sure you have good ventilation, for example, open windows. Check the label to see if you need to wear protective equipment like gloves or eye protection, and follow directions on the bottle to prepare a diluted bleach solution. You can also check if your other cleaners are safe.
Next time you need to replace something, spend a minute looking for this, the EPA's Safer Choice label, or checking their online database.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Sky's starting to lighten up as the sun's getting ready to come up over the horizon. Matter of fact, you can see it right there over the Port of Beaumont, just now starting to come up as we get into your Wednesday morning. This view from Packer the Prairie, as you can see, just a few clouds off in the distance there. Mostly clear skies out there for this morning. Our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network only showing 71 downtown, humidity at 79%, and a little bit of a northeasterly wind right now, about 4 to 5 miles per hour. But looks like a good sunrise out there for this morning. Temperatures nice and mild. We're generally into the 60s with the exception of Port Arthur's at 71. Then we drop back to 63 here in Beaumont, 65 in Orange. Jasper's at 63, where we're looking at 66 in Kirbyville and Silsbee, 69 in Woodville. We've been kind of holding at 69 for most of the morning. Not much going on. Pretty quiet across the state. Maybe a little bit of a shower up towards the Texas Panhandle, but those are very isolated showers there. Most of the state waking up to mostly sunny skies. And this quiet conditions as high pressures overhead. Just off to our east, we have a few clouds working their way through parts of Mississippi, Alabama, maybe a couple of showers just off the coast of Louisiana there for this morning. Our futurecast shows nothing but sunshine for this morning. We'll work our way through the 70s pretty quickly. We'll be right at about 80 degrees as we head towards 10 o'clock this morning, and then quickly jump to the middle 80s by lunchtime. We're expecting highs today a little hotter than we're showing here. We'll go up to about 90, 91 for this afternoon, and then back off through the 80s through the late afternoon, early evening. 70s for a little bit through the evening hours, and then we'll see those 60s return for tomorrow morning. So nice mild start once again. We'll see a lot of 60s over the next several days. Hurricane Umberto, right now winds are at 80 miles an hour. It's going to be caught up with a front, so it's going to be falling apart pretty quickly. It looks pretty ragged already, and it's going to be quickly moving out, and they won't probably be issuing any more updates on this as we get past today. And then to its south and west, we have Hurricane Imelda, which is at 90 miles an hour as far as the winds. And look how quickly it's moving off towards the east now, east-northeast at 21. So it's going to quickly get out of here, get it away from the U.S. for sure. It looks like it's heading out towards the open Atlantic there. So we don't have to worry about either one of those. Looks like the East Coast finally is going to calm down just a little bit. Mostly sunny for today, a little bit of a north wind at 3 to 8, and temperatures right there around 90 to about 92. And then for back into the 60s for tonight, middle to upper 60s, mostly clear, light and variable winds. Nice start on Thursday, just like this morning. 7-day forecast shows more of the same, highs upper 80s, lower 90s, and lows upper 60s, lower 70s. And we got a shot of some rain, maybe a couple of showers here and there. For Sunday into Monday, it's only a 20% coverage of a couple of showers.
I'm going to take the clear skies while I can get them. I know it's still a little warm out there, but you know, better than it raining on me.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm. No complaints here from anyone. Love it. All right, just a reminder, you can download our app at any time to get the latest on the weather. You can check the radar by going straight to the radar tab in the app. All right, 7:19. We're in our third hour of Daybreak. Time for some trending news. And imagine being at a wedding for 8 hours with nothing but appetizers and champagne. I'll fill up on the champagne.
What type of appetizers?
They're little ones, apparently.
Like little meatballs?
Maybe, if you're lucky.
Well, one hungry guest wasn't having it, so she and a friend secretly ordered a pizza, grabbed it outside, started handing out slices to other starving guests. But the bride, she wasn't thrilled about it. She called it tacky and embarrassing, saying food was coming eventually after 8 hours.
You better have a feast laid out there.
Okay, now TikTok siding with the pizza girl, calling her the real MVP of the reception because no one should have to party on an empty stomach, right?
Little Caesars, $5, hot and ready.
I'm just saying, 8 hours.
Yeah.
First of all, most weddings say like what, 3 to 10?
Yeah, exactly.
So what were y'all doing?
Figure it out, y'all. Figure it out.
All right. Well, have you ever seen a mom call out to one of her kids and get confused on which one she's talking to? My mom does that often. A family in Virginia probably experienced this all the time.
Yeah, it's their own fault, though. That's because they have 6 kids who basically all have the same name. First of all, the parents' names, Carolyn and Cameron. And their kids' names, get ready for it. It's Cameron with an R-Y-N, Cameron with an E-R-O-N, Camryon, Carmine, Cameron with an apostrophe in the middle, and of course, baby Camarion. That's confusing. Mom calls them her 6-pack. Their names, they went viral on TikTok, drawing both criticism and laughs, but the kids say they always know exactly who mom is talking to. That's a lie.
And what a way to be creative, though. You got, oh, it's gone.
Yep.
I think it was, Camryon, Carmen. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that's funny. At least when she calls them for dinner, no one's going to be confused.
No more kids. Yeah. Y'all run out of options.
You run out of ways to spell that. All right, moving along. We told you about the 2025 Fattest Bear competition going on in Alaska, and the results are in.
All right, drum roll. After 2 years as runner-up, Chunk is finally Fat Bear Week's champion. Perfect name, right? The hulking 1,200-pound brown bear claimed the crown with more than 96,000 votes, beating his closest rival by over 30,000. The online contest lets fans around the world vote on which bear has packed on the most pounds to survive winter hibernation. Chunk is now celebrating his title the same way he bulked up with a big fat salmon. When we talked about this, the salmon during the 6 o'clock, it made me think about that blackened catfish I get from Papados with their red beans and rice.
Okay.
I might be the next Chunk if I keep going and ordering that.
We got to send Chunk some red beans and rice to go with that salmon in that case. A little blackened seasoning. Got to do it Cajun style.
That would be pretty good, huh? All right, it's now 7:22. Jeff Gerber will be back with your forecast.
Working to get more information from Beaumont Police.
Join 12 News weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m.
We bring you the latest breaking news.
And keep you safe when weather impacts your day.
Following the excitement with your team.
Covering local issues that matter in your community.
Watch 12 News at 6 and 10 p.m. and stream on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things.
You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it.
We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers.
We are normal people just like you.
And together, we can make a difference.
Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
409 Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses.
It's the heart that makes up the game, the triumph of the human spirit.
It's agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify a community.
We give you the stats, but then we inspire you with the stories. The unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable.
We bring it to you all because sports lives in the 409.
I was invited to a party and I drank a few glasses of wine. I take off. The next thing you know, I see 2 pairs of lights behind me. They arrest me. It hurt. Now I have an ignition interlock system in my car and I have to blow in it every day just to turn my car on. When my son sees it, I hear him in the back seat. Daddy, what are you blowing in? It's embarrassing. My name is Eric Guerra. I had just a few glasses of wine 8 months out, and I'm still dealing with the consequences of it.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Patrick Vaughn, here with another hurricane tip, protecting yourself against damaging wind. Secure or bring inside outdoor items such as lawn furniture and trash cans to prevent them from endangering property or people. Trim or remove trees close enough to fall on your home and protect windows with permanent storm shutters or sheeting. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
Welcome back to Daybreak. It's October 1st, and that means that there are a lot of festivals and other fun things going on in Southeast Texas this month.
We're giving you a look at some of the big ones coming up. The Rice Festival starts today in Winnie, and there's a lot to do this Saturday. We tasted that. Was rice ball?
Yeah, rice ball's a little chilly in the middle.
Yeah. Oktoberfest in Beaumont at Rogers Park, Orangetoberfest in Orange and the Riverside Pavilion, and the Beaumont Fire Festival at the Fire Museum downtown. Also, while the Groves Pecan Festival starts October 9th, there will be a car show ahead of the festival this Saturday at Chris Rourke Lions Park. Get it, Jeff.
At the bus stop for this morning, mild temperatures out there in the upper 60s, warm at recess 85, then hot and dry on the way home. Temperatures going to be there into the lower 90s. Along the coast, northeasterly winds only at 5 to 10 knots, seas about a foot. We'll only see one high tide, and that was early this morning at 2:05. Our sunrise just happening now. We're getting that sun up over the horizon, and then our sun sets at 7:02 for this evening. Texas Point, we're seeing a little bit of a northeasterly wind at about 6 to 8 miles per hour, and water temperatures into the middle 80s. Looks like a pretty dry forecast until we get late in the weekend. Early next week, we'll put in a small chance for rain. We'll show you that coming up in our 7-day forecast in just a little bit.
And coming up here in our third hour of Daybreak on 12 News Plus, peeling back the layers of one of Beaumont's bond propositions, why the Point Parkway extension meant to boost growth is sparking pushback from some of its neighbors.
Plus, the TEA commissioner visits several BISD campuses as the district remains under the threat of a state intervention. What he says the next steps are and when.
And how are the latest round of tariffs impacting your morning cup of joe? We're live in Beaumont with more on that. We'll be right back. Good morning, Southeast Texas. Thanks for joining us here on Daybreak on 12 News Plus. I'm Mark Armstrong.
And I'm Tia Johnson. It is now 7:30 on your Wednesday morning. Let's take a look at some of your top stories. A Jefferson County judge sentenced a Port Arthur man to 50 years in prison for a deadly 2022 crash. Christopher James pled guilty to intoxication manslaughter. Prosecutors say he slammed into the back of Port Arthur City employee James Addison's motorcycle. Addison died at the hospital. Court testimony revealed James had PCP in his system at the time of the crash.
And a man indicted earlier this year, now back in Hardin County custody. Court records show that Curtis Sanders was indicted on March 25th, but his whereabouts, they were unknown for months. He was arrested in Angelina County and transported back to Hardin County last night. His bond is set at $200,000.
Investigators are working to figure out what led to a fire at an abandoned home Tuesday morning. District Fire Chief Matt Roy says an officer driving by spotted the flames and called it in. Crews arrived to find heavy fire coming from the back of the home and quickly spreading to the attic. No one was hurt. The cause is still under investigation. All right, let's take a live look outside now from our Roofing 911 Skycam network. Different view of Lake Charles from when we checked in, I think, during the 6 o'clock hour. Our guy, Jeff Gerber, is standing by with the forecast, but we like to call him Ger.
And what a guy he is.
Oh, what a man, what a man, what a man.
Wow. Okay. Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I was going to say, that's a nice intro.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Thank you so much.
You missed it, Mark.
Yes.
Temperatures out there this morning are in the 60s again, so pretty nice. Matter of fact, Jasper's at 63. West of town here in Beaumont, Mauriceville Airport's down to 63, so feeling very nice there. 64 in Orange. Port Arthur a little warmer at 71. 66 Silsbee and Kirbyville. Woodville currently showing about 69. Sun's up and going up over the horizon. Here's the view up towards Jasper. Camera brought to you by Provalis, part of the Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. And you can see, not seeing any clouds up there in Jasper. Matter of fact, most of the state is seeing sunny skies for this morning, and we might just deal with a couple of clouds for later on this afternoon, but not a big deal out there. It's going to be hot. Temperatures about 90 to 92 in some spots across southeast Texas. A little bit of a north wind still, though, so that should help humidity levels stay a little bit lower. We're talking about 50-60% instead of, say, 70% for this time of year. So all in all, not a bad forecast for today. Just going to be a little bit hot this afternoon. Rain chances, really not much in the forecast over the next 7 days. We do have a couple of days where we might see a couple of showers. We'll look at that coming up in weather.
All right, Jeff, the Hardin County Sheriff's Office says that a man shot and killed his wife in Silsbee before taking his own life. Deputies, they were called to their home on FM 1122 Monday evening, and Sheriff Mark Davis says that they found 50-year-old Sophia Torres dead inside the home. Investigators believe that her husband, Alfredo Torres, shot her before walking outside to a barn and shooting himself. Sheriff Davis says that authorities had been called to that home back in 2020 for a domestic situation. Investigators still working to learn what led up to this shooting.
We have an unusual update out of Liberty County this morning related to those attempted drownings from Monday morning. The father of 3 children who nearly drowned on the family's ranch was arrested on an unrelated charge. On Monday, he called 911 saying his wife tried to drown their 3 kids. When deputies arrived, they were out of the water, but the mom was still in the lake unconscious. She and their 11-year-old daughter were flown to hospital in critical condition. The 15 and 6-year-olds are okay, but according to the sheriff's office, the father, Domingo Quintana, was arrested Monday night on an animal cruelty charge. Officials say the children are now in CPS custody.
And police in Jasper, they are warning residents not to be putting up these unauthorized Epstein signs on public or city property. They read, "What's he hiding? Release the Epstein files." The police chief says that these have been popping up on city poles. He says that if you're caught, you could face legal action. And this morning, we are breaking down another piece of Beaumont's $264 million bond proposal. Voters, they're going to see Prop E. It's going to be one of many on the ballot in November.
Yeah, this would extend Point Parkway to connect with State Highway 105 and cost almost $9 million. But not everyone is sold on the idea. 12 News reporter Ebony Coleman explains.
It's going to be real busy, it's going to be noisy, a lot of traffic.
John Joseph stays on East Major Drive, which is next to the proposed extension.
Street will be running right on our side of our house.
He says the new extension will disturb his peace and quiet.
You come home, you can sit on your porch, you can, enjoy, just have quiet time.
The land the city wants to build on is private property. The owner has already given the city permission to build a road. Christina Loki, economic manager for the city, says the land is being cleared for the road and development.
There are definitely developers that are interested in that area.
She says the project will move along traffic and help the city grow.
Whether that be commercial or residential, I think what's encouraging about it is with commercial, there is sales tax attributions, as well as with residential, having property taxes.
But Joseph isn't convinced it's the right thing to do.
It's definitely a no for me. Taking the peace and the quiet out the neighborhood, to run a highway or a street or whatever they're talking about putting through here, I would say no.
Ms. Loki says a deal to build new homes along the proposed road is already on the table.
Yeah, at this time, she doesn't have an exact number of how many homes would be built. The election for this bond proposal is November 4th. And a 2% sales tax is going into effect today in parts of Newton County. Voters approved this back in May to help fund emergency medical services. That tax applies only to purchases made within ESD 6 boundaries, excluding Newton city limits.
And the fate of Beaumont ISD remains uncertain this morning. TEA Commissioner Mike Morath visited 3 campuses Tuesday that received failing grades from the agency. His visit comes as the district faces the possibility of a state takeover. According to state law, if a single campus gets a failing grade for 5 consecutive years, the state could step in.
Yeah, Morath, he didn't commit to taking any action yesterday, but he said options are being reviewed.
Choice number 1 is that particular school has to be ordered to be closed. Choice number 2 is the elected board is replaced with an appointed board. And so that's the decision that faces us.
Now, as for what's next, Superintendent Dr. Shannon Allen, she says it's going to be a while before they know for sure.
He shared with me that we wouldn't hear anything for the next couple of months. I also feel like he is not going to rush to make a decision. He's going to make certain that he takes in all factors and considers Beaumont ISD.
And Morath says that a final decision is going to be made in the next few months, but whatever is decided, the impact will not be immediate. Now, you can see our extensive reporting on this issue on our streaming app, 12 News Plus. That includes a sit-down interview with Dr. Allen. All right, right now, one of the biggest industries that is being impacted by those tariffs is the coffee industry.
A cup is costing more these days, and local shops say the reason is out of their hands. 12 News reporter Derek Jones is live at Hard Bean Coffee and Bistro in Beaumont with more on how business owners are navigating the impact of these new tariffs. Derek.
Marcus here. I'm here at the Hard Bean Coffee in Beaumont, and the Hard Bean owner is telling me that she had to raise the prices on some of her drinks because the bean prices rose overnight. This is after President Donald Trump imposed a 50% tariff on Brazilian coffee almost 2 months ago. Import costs climbed about 20% according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Diane Martin, owner of Hard Bean Coffee in Beaumont and Lumberton, buys her beans through the Tea and Coffee America, a Beaumont-based distributor. She has seen a $20 increase when buying 5-pound bags of Brazilian coffee. Now Diane is shifting to coffee from other countries with lower tariffs.
Yeah, if you were getting a bag of Brazil, you went from paying $35 a bag to $55 a bag overnight. We found out which vendors or which countries did not have as bad a tariffs, and we went with those beans. So that's why we have things from Costa Rica and the Chiapas area, things like that, so it's not as high price.
Although Brazilian beans and green coffee have been hit with the highest tariff of 50%, other countries are being hit with a 10% to 15% tariff, increasing the cost of coffee. Now, customers should only be seeing a 20-cent to $1 increase in their coffee, so that way they can still take it a cup a day. In Beaumont, Derek Jones, 12 News.
Great breakdown right there. Thank you, Derek. Well, it's official. The U.S. government has shut down after Congress and the White House couldn't reach a funding deal. It could lead to the loss of thousands of federal jobs. Here's ABC's Johnny Fernandez.
With both Republican and Democratic plans to fund the government failing in the Senate, a shutdown is now underway. The Democratic plan, which would have extended Affordable Care Act subsidies and reversed cuts to Medicare and Medicaid, fell along party lines 47 to 53. Moments later, the Republican-backed clean bill failed 55 to 45.
The bill upon reconsideration is not passed.
2 Democrats and an independent supported the proposal, and 1 Republican opposed it. Lawmakers on both sides were quick to point the finger of blame.
The Democrat caucus here in town, in the Senate, has chosen to shut down the government over a clean, nonpartisan funding bill.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says Republicans will now have to negotiate with Democrats.
Their bill, they call it clean, we call it totally partisan. There was no input from Democrats. Not a single line in their bill had input from Democrats.
The president warning of program cuts, layoffs, and reduced benefits, but hasn't specified which programs would be affected.
We can do things during the shutdown that are irreversible, that are bad for them and irreversible by them, like cutting vast numbers of people out, cutting things that they like, cutting programs that they like.
Up to 4 million federal workers could go without pay, and many may have to scale back on essentials like food, bills, and school expenses.
We need the government to stay open so that we don't have to live off our credit cards, that we don't have to take multiple loans just to pay our mortgage, to pay our daily necessities.
Up next, meet a Houston woman who's now a Latin Grammy nominee. And still ahead, check out the dating journalist from Dallas whose interviews are going viral. It's 7:41.
As tropical activity picks up in the Gulf, 12 News is your hurricane headquarters. Get prepared before a storm hits. Watch the 12 News Hurricane Special, streaming on 12 News Plus. From the must-haves in your supply kit to the evacuation routes you'll need to take, plus safety tips and how you can protect yourself from storm scammers. The 12 News Hurricane Special, keeping you prepared. Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
No matter where we start, every mile brings us closer. And as Texans, we take care of each other along the way. We lend a hand, slow down, and take our time. At the end of the day, we all want to get home safe. Drive like a Texan. Kind, courteous, and safe.
The impact killed my dad and brother instantly. A man, after drinking excessively with his coworkers, ran a stop sign, T-boned my parents' Honda, and destroyed our family. He could have just said, hey, I'm not okay. There's Lyft, there's Uber, there's taxis. There's so many other options. Every day, someone else can be taken away.
The STEM fields are providing opportunity to be part of the developments that will shape the future, and the Army National Guard is at the forefront of the movement. Soldiers can serve part-time and choose from dozens of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics jobs, working with cutting-edge technology and innovations. And the skills and experience they receive can open doors for them to civilian careers in the STEM world. Join a team that is taking the lead in STEM by talking to a local recruiter or by going to nationalguard.com/careers.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Patrick Vaughn, here with some hurricane tips for protecting yourself against flooding. Take shelter in a designated storm shelter or an interior room and stay away from glass windows of doors. And if flooding begins, move to higher ground immediately. Never walk, swim, or drive through floodwaters. Remember, turn around, don't drown. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy.
Welcome back. Hispanic Heritage Month continues, and this morning we're highlighting Gabriela from Houston, who's now a Latin Grammy nominee for Best Hana album. Take a look. Ron Trevino at our sister station caught up with her. The Florida native says she moved to Texas for the music and credits Selena as being her North Star.
I've always been inspired by Selena. I've always admired how hard she worked because she wasn't fluent in Spanish and neither am I. So she just showed that the impossible is always possible.
We all love Selena. Off stage, Gabriela is a psychology grad. The Latin Grammys will be awarded next month.
Sun is up and going for this morning. We have clear skies across southeast Texas and southwest Louisiana. Here's a look over towards the lakes area there in Lake Charles. You can see the I-210 bridge there off in the distance on our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. As looks like it's going to be a nice start this morning. Temperatures have dropped back down into the 60s. Hey, you head over towards Jasper, and there's the sun as we look off towards the east on this camera. This camera brought to you by Provalis, part of that Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. Jasper's one of the cooler spots on the map at 63. Also showing 63 at the Municipal Airport here in Beaumont. 65 through Kirbyville and Silsbee. Woodville's at 69. Orange at 64. And then Port Arthur's been holding into the lower 70s all morning long at about 71. Very quiet across the state of Texas. Not much going on. Maybe a couple of clouds here and there. That's about it. There's a little bit of activity down towards southern Alabama, Mississippi, with a little area low pressure kind of rotating through there, causing maybe a couple of showers out in the Gulf. But that's headed east, not towards us, so we don't have to worry about that. Our forecast is calling for 60s early. We'll jump into the 70s by, say, mid-morning or so, and then climb up into the 80s as we go towards the lunch hour. After that, we'll climb even higher. We'll go about 90, 91 for a high this afternoon with mostly sunny skies, then falling back through the 80s and eventually 70s through the evening before we land in the 60s for tomorrow morning. So another morning where we'll see some mild temperatures. And we'll continue to see those 60s through the next several days. Our average low this time of year, about 67. We'll see a lot of that as we go through the next 7 days. Out in the Atlantic, we still have 2 hurricanes, but Umberto probably not going to stick around for much longer. It's going to be absorbed in a front that's pushing through. Winds are at 80 right now, moving to the northeast at 14. Like I said, they don't really even forecast it out too much farther as it gets pushed into that front. And then we have Hurricane Imelda, which is just to the south and west of Umberto, and winds are at 90, moving to the east northeast at 21. So it's quickly moving away from the east coast, which is good news. Let their coast line calm down a little bit. They've had some coastal flooding along the east coast, as well as riptides and some strong currents there. As it goes out towards the east, it should weaken as well as we head towards the end of the week. Our forecast calling for just mostly sunny skies today, a little bit of north wind at 3 to 8. Temperatures there into the lower 90s and then back into the 60s tonight. Mainly middle to upper 60s with mostly clear and light variable winds. Our 7-day forecast showing temperatures right there into the lower 90s today, Thursday and Friday, as we head towards Monday and Tuesday, about 90 degrees. And then morning lows are going to be back down into the upper 60s. We might see a couple of days with temperatures in the upper 80s.
Now, as that storm heads into that front and gets absorbed into it like that, does that like add a bit of a punch to that front now?
No.
Really, not at all.
No, it just really just dissipates the storm.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's interesting. I wish we had more of that around here when we had a storm like that come on.
That's why if we do have any fronts come through, it quickly pushes whatever is out there away from us. So hurricanes can be very strong, but on the other end, they're very delicate kind of things. The atmosphere has to be just perfect for things to develop like that. So when you get any kind of disruption like a front or something like that, it could really throw a kink into the whole works.
Did you know this guy was so smart?
I was just thinking, did you want to be a forecaster in
No,
another life?
I want to be his apprentice.
He's working for his junior weather badge.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to wear it.
That's not the hand sign, by the way.
Let it go.
All right, thank you, Jeff. Port Arthur Health Department, they are hosting a drive-through flu clinic today, and where you can get your flu shot from the comfort of your car. Now, the cost is just $10 for adults and free for kids from 6 months to 18 years old. And this is going to be from 7:30 a.m. Already started here this morning about 10 minutes ago, and it's going all the way until 1 p.m. at the address right there on your screen.
Oh, Lord, we talking about it this morning. If you're single, you know how daunting dating can be, especially if you're new to the scene.
But a Dallas woman, she is on a mission to make it easier. She is dating. She is a dating journalist, and some of her interviews are going viral. Here is Morgan Young.
What's your name?
Derek.
Derek, I'm Elspeth.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Elspeth Wimpy is not afraid to talk to strangers.
Okay, I'm Elspeth.
Nice to meet you.
I'm a dating journalist.
Especially for a crucial cause.
What's your what's your pickup line, for lack of a better word, to get someone to talk to you?
I'm literally like, are you single? And I said, no, don't worry, I'm not hitting on you. I'm a dating journalist. Okay, Derek, when was the last time you went on a date with a girl?
What is a dating journalist?
A dating journalist is just investigative reporter on all the things about dating. and how men approach women these days and how women approach men and just the whole dating game.
And it's a game the 30-year-old grad student says has grown harder for her peers as we've swapped in-person romance and meet cutes for dating apps and sliding into the DMs.
People do not know how to communicate. And it's because technology, the apps, they hide behind the screen.
So with microphones tucked into little espresso cups, dressed in her now well-known athletic set and her videographer in tow, she hits Dallas's popular Katy Trail to get the scoop on the singles in the city.
Grace, what kind of guy are you looking for? Bo, when was the last time you asked a girl out? Did y'all meet? Were you set up?
She expected people to think her videos were interesting because of the topic, which she didn't expect.
No problem. Oh, thank you. Do you follow me on Instagram?
Was to become somewhat of a celebrity on the trail, or for her videos to put up big numbers.
I wanted to talk about dating because it's such a hot topic, but I didn't think it was this hot of a topic.
There's also something else she could not have anticipated.
So I was running down the trail with my dog. We were on a little adventure and along came Miss Elsbeth, and she approached me and asked if I wanted to be in a video for a dating show. And I just moved to Dallas, didn't have a lot of friends, and initially wanted no part of it. And I just kept going. And I said, no, thank you, have a good day.
But for some reason, that day, 24-year-old Pete Fisher said he decided to change his mind mid-ride.
I think it was like an act of God almost, or something like that. He was like, you will meet your future girlfriend if you go back and do that interview. And I was like, all right, we'll do it.
Would you ever ask a girl out on the Katy Trail?
Yes, I would. I actually did yesterday.
This video got 147,000 plays on TikTok and dozens of comments, including one from a woman named Peyton, who is now Fisher's girlfriend.
We have been together for almost 2 months now, and I am so in love, and she's everything I could have ever wanted in a woman.
Elsbeth's videos are actually helping people connect.
They get hundreds of DMs, especially guys.
Really?
Yes.
So you're kind of a matchmaker.
In a way, a matchmaker, but I'm interviewing people and then I want people to figure it out on themselves.
Oh, she commented on.
Oh. And when it comes to what she has figured out about dating in Dallas from all of her investigative work,
people are hungry for in-person communication. And so with these interviews, I hope to show people, approach people, take the risk. Don't be scared. Just take the risk and do it and make a conversation.
In essence, don't be so afraid to talk to strangers. You just might meet your soulmate.
All right, and now we're taking a live look here from our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network above Orange. Your time is now 7:52. Our third and final hour of Daybreak coming to a close here next.
When industry news breaks, we're on the front lines, digging into the issue.
Lamar is working to protect Power City from hackers,
Filtering out rumors and giving you the facts direct from inside sources.
ExxonMobil and lawyers for the United Steelworkers.
Taking on the story from all sides.
The company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection last year.
Southeast Texas is a power city, and we're bringing the power to you. 12 News, putting Southeast Texas first.
We begin with breaking news in Port Neches.
Firefighters continue attacking the flames from the air.
We're working to learn more about a police chase.
We'll give you a live look at the scene tonight. Our crew there.
A chase in Port Neches turned into a standoff.
So we're working to get you more information.
We're going to keep you updated on air and online as we learn more.
Stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
409 Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses.
It's the heart that makes up the game, the triumph of the human spirit.
It's agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify a community.
We give you the stats, but then we inspire you with the stories. The unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable.
We bring it to you all because sports lives in the 409.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, don't mess with Texas, means we gotta step up, walk the walk. Do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, for all us Texans, don't mess with Texas means don't litter.
I'm meteorologist Kerry Cooper here with another hurricane tip, cleaning up safely. After the storm has passed, avoid damaged or fallen power lines, poles, and downed wires in case of electrocution. Wear appropriate protective equipment including gloves, goggles, and boots. Clean and disinfect everything that got wet, and when moving heavy debris, work with a partner. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
Welcome back to Daybreak. It is now 7:55 and it's time for your morning rush out.
Yeah, here's everything you need to know as you start your day. First up, the Hardin County Sheriff's Office says that a man shot and killed his wife in Silsbee before taking his own life. Deputies were called to their home on FM 1122 Monday evening, where they found 50-year-old Sophia Torres dead. Now, investigators believe Alfredo Torres shot her before walking outside and shooting himself. They are still investigating.
The fate of Beaumont ISD remains uncertain after TEA Commissioner Mike Morath visited 3 campuses Tuesday that received failing grades from the agency. He didn't commit to taking any action on a possible state takeover yesterday, but said options are being reviewed. He says a final decision will be made in the next few months.
And as we look at our 7-day forecast, we're going to see temperatures into the lower 90s out there and then some upper 80s as we head towards Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures back into the lower 90s as we go towards the middle of next week, and a lot of lows in the 60s, maybe a few 70s as well.
Well, join me Inviter Tuesday for Tia's Tales. It'll be a morning of fun and learning that's a little more convenient for those of you who do homeschooling. It starts at 10 a.m. I hope to see you guys there. I know if you two weren't doing the midday show, you'd be
for
joining
sure,
me.
yeah.
Yeah, of course I would be.
Oh, that just sounds like a lie. But there are some Saturday opportunities for you guys to come out and.
Okay. Jeff, you take the first shift.
Sounds great.
Okay, excellent. We'll be right back at midday.